Hello everyone, this is Cody from the Rancor's Brothel. Are you looking for dice and other gaming accessories for your group? If so, check out our friends over at fanroll.com, where you can find unique dice and premium quality accessories for your table. And if you're looking for something really special, they do customization as well. Fans of the Rancor's Brothel can save 10% by using the promo code RB10 at checkout. That's R as in Rancors, B as in Brothel, 10. Not only can you get yourself some great dice at a discount, but you can support this podcast as well. So check out fanroll.com today and use promo code RB10 at checkout. Tell them the Rancor's Brothel sent you.
The Rancor's Brothel presents a Dungeons & Dragons campaign.
Out of the Abyss.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm not sure if everybody else, or if everybody listens to our Impossible Landscapes show, but
You should, it's pretty dope.
it is pretty dope. But it's been mentioned a few times in there that we had an event. We've dubbed it the Great Deleting of 2021.
I'm sorry.
Again, it is not Grady's fault.
So sorry.
It's 100% Grady's fault.
It's not. I watched him do it.
I mean, it's like 30-40% his fault.
Like
Whatever the percentage
he clicked
is,
the button, but he didn't cause the event. Something else.
whatever
caused
the
event.
percentage is, I don't trust Lucas's tech knowledge enough to know that Grady did or did not do something wrong.
I just remember
watching
there was
over his
this moment
shoulder.
where I saw the files disappear, having not done anything, and I turned and looked at Lucas, and all I could think was, you're the worst goddamn witness I could have had.
I'm still vouching for you. You did nothing wrong.
I appreciate it. But nobody's going to believe you any more than they believe me.
It's fair.
So regardless of whose fault it is or whether it's anybody's fault, we're six sessions into Out of the Abyss, the second half.
7.
Oh, was it 7?
It's 0 through 6, right?
0 through 6. So yes. We just lost like a couple chapters out of the book, and we're not going to replay them.
It's only 25 hours, no big deal.
Yeah, no.
We're going to give you guys a recap episode. We're going to start back with the first half of Out of the Abyss and give you a real quick run over, and then we're going to cover the last 6 sessions in hour and a half.
That's
And-
optimistic
Well, it is
Very.
optimistic, but
that we remember any of that. I drink during the show. You realize that, right?
yeah.
Heavily most of the time.
Same.
Okay, so we started out with a
2 red stripes is not heavily.
No, there was Stoley involved a couple times.
It was once. Because I
Stoley's
brought the
been-
bottle.
Stoley's been involved more than once, just maybe only once in this game.
One time, multiple shots.
Fair.
True.
So we started out with a random bunch of people who didn't know each other getting hijacked in a town and getting dragged down to the Underdark by Drow.
Oh, you're going way back.
Yeah, I'm just giving a real quick...
So for anybody who stumbled across the show, this bit actually encompasses 84 episodes or something.
Yeah, and we're going to cover it in about 15 minutes, I hope.
Probably that's all it's useful anyway. So
I mean,
The party met a bunch of random NPC Underdark
It's like Iron
races and
Fist. You
things
can
like
skip
that.
every other episode.
Yeah, that is true.
here's Out of the Abyss. We did some dumb shit. Lucas said some dumb shit.
Fish
There's
City.
that's Out of the Abyss.
Fish City, Demon Lords,
Mind
Durgar
Flayers.
with a dragon,
Fish City's the hill I'll die on.
No,
Mushroom People.
no Mind Flayers.
I think Fish City was the first time I broke everyone at the table.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Josh coming in and playing a character significantly better than the previous player.
And we're just talking about the sword.
I mean, Josh as the intelligent sword was literally the best character at the fucking table.
Harrison's sword is pretty fantastic.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
I miss Josh.
We all miss Josh.
Yeah, so the The party got drugged through the Underdark, trying to find a way back to the surface, figured out that demon lords had been released upon the world and were rampaging around the Underdark.
But never figured out why.
Never figured out why. Eventually, about a year into it, they found their way back up to the surface with the help of a bunch of deep gnomes. After that, everybody split up and had several months off in game time to do character development or whatever, level up, and everybody kind of went their own way. And our first session back was the two returning characters telling us what they did. There were going to be 3 of the original characters coming back, but one of them lost their character sheet and wanted to make a new one.
Not to point anybody out, Lucas.
I was pretty sure I was going to make a new one anyway, but yeah.
He got
I
tired.
still can't find that sheet.
He got tired of being blue.
I was to say, he's mad you
Still
turned him
can't
blue.
find that sheet. We had a kind of, well, not a plan, but we had discussed what we could do. But yeah. I definitely was like, well, it's not a huge loss. The new character's going to be fun.
So, Troy, what did Mulvayas do?
So then there was that character, and then you made your current character.
Yeah. I like my current character. It's fun.
Okay.
What did Mulvayas do after getting out of the Underdark?
He returned Elenel's body to her people, and basically spent probably the majority of his time in between trips in the Underdark there.
Yeah, I think we said that was Silvery Moon.
Silvery Moon, yes. Yep. Just spent time there with her people, learning what he could, sort of rehoning his skills, kind of picking up on the psionics, for himself, and sort of making a blend of a psionic and ranger character. So,
yes, mechanically there was a little bit of retraining there.
yes, yeah. So yeah, probably spent. I would say any other time he spent out of the abyss, he probably spent by himself. So whenever he wasn't visiting with Elenel's people, he was off on his own.
What about Kira?
Kira kind of, after some discussion with Jeff and kind of revitalizing the character a little bit, because obviously been playing the same character for like, I don't know, a year and a half in real time, trying to find some stuff to spice up the character a little bit. Kira goes back to Baldur's Gate and like tries to report and Chicken Littles and kind of says the sky is falling.
Neverwinter.
Neverwinter, sorry. I knew I was going to say the wrong one. She went back to Neverwinter to sort of report in to the guard and be like, hey, we need to do something. And basically they tell her to piss off, which pisses her off. Sort of, there's a whole like, no sir, they drew first blood kind of a thing, Rambo style. And she like throws her corporal's badge on the table and leaves. She goes off into the wilderness for a little bit, which sort of begins to explain the training where she got a few levels in Barbarian, sort of out in the wilderness and being really like angry. So that's sort of what she did.
And then eventually, both characters were approached by representatives of King Brunner of Gauntlgrim. And they were escorted to Gauntlgrim at his request. The one thing we didn't get to do during that session was the third interlude that told about what happened to Nexus. Since Lucas wasn't going to play with him anymore, I was going to take care of it.
We see a massive crescent-shaped harbor city, Baldur's Gate. We sweep through the cobblestone streets, seeing the many vagrants keeping warm by the dim firelight. Men, women, children of all races cling to each other, nibbling on crumbs of molded and rotten food scraps. Around the bend, we enter an old stone building with a sign above the thick wooden door that reads, The Elf Song Tavern. Inside, the bar is crowded, as always, yet seems eerily quiet, but for the sound of an elven ballad being sung. A fire burns beneath the medium-sized hearth, warming only the center portion of the hall. Patrons drink, but quietly make conversation in tones so hushed that it feels wrong to listen. As we move across the room, we see a blue-skinned gnome intently reading a large leather-bound book as she sips a small glass of wine. And with the final sip, Nexus Moloch sets down her empty glass, closes her book, and tosses it atop a pile of other ancient tomes set high on the table. She sits back and wearily scrunches her eyes closed and pinches the bridge of her crooked nose. She's clearly been at this for some time and still has not found the answer that she's looking for. As the haunting elven song ends, the noise of the bar picks back up, and the patrons go back to their business. Nexus motions to the server for another glass and picks up another book. We watch as the pile of books gets higher and higher. And finally, Nexus thumps the final tome onto the pile and tiredly rubs her swollen eyes. It's then that she notices the tavern has gone even more quiet. As she stands up on the chair to look over her pile of books, she sees that the entire room is empty, except for 2 other occupied seats. They sit at separate tables, facing Nexus, both giving off the same demeanor. One is dressed in a flowing white and gold robes, with feathered wings extending up above his shoulders. The other has matching black robes that seem to shimmer with green highlights as he shifts in his seat. The dark-clad man smiles and says, "It's a pleasure to finally meet you, Nexus Moloch. I've been looking for the right time to introduce myself, ever since we bumped into each other in Blingdenstone." The man's voice resonates in Nexus's head. It's more than just a voice. Within each word is a multitude of voices, as Nexus is taken back to the moment that they telepathically connected with the oozes that were swarming the tunnels of the Gnome City, to the moment that he touched the mind of Jublex. "I know that you have an agreement with this gentleman," says the man in dark robes, as he motions to the Solar, who sits solemnly across the room. "I, however, would like to offer you a better deal." Nexus leans in and listens as the man lays out his plan and his deal, which includes releasing his soul from this tiny blue body and recreating his old angelic one. And Nexus glances nervously back to the man in white, as the man in black asks, "What do you think?" "Is that you, Jublex?" Nexus asks. The man in dark robes nods. "And Veyroon?" Nexus asks, glancing at the other man. And the one in white nods, and states, "If you do this, former Angelite, I cannot undo it." And Nexus drops her head in a moment of reflection, clenches her blue jaw. Slowly she stands, walks to Jublex's side, and extends a tiny blue, shaky hand. Jublex reaches out and shakes it, but just before Nexus can pull her hand away, the shimmery black robe slithers down and wraps their clasped hands together. Suddenly, eyes begin to open all over the shimmery black garb. The features of the man are now consumed by the roiling mass that was his robe, and to Nexus's horror, the roiling black mass of Jublex rolls forward over her gnome body. Minutes later, it rolls back, leaving a smoking lump on the floor of the bar. Slowly, that lump starts to move, seeming to find its form as it expands, and we now see a slightly darker, oilier version of Nexus's angelic body as it takes shape. And Nexus lifts his head up and looks to the ooze before him and asks, "Aye, my lord, what is it you require of me?"
He's given a choice and he takes it, and he's devoured and rebuilt by Jublex. And maybe we'll see him again later.
Rebuilt as his old self?
As his old self.
Oh,
Except
cool.
He's got these oily, oozy, drippy wings now.
So what you're saying is he's like that character from Pirates of the Caribbean who can't speak because he keeps spitting shit up.
I don't remember that character.
Me either.
What's his fucking name? It's what's his face's dad. I don't know what the fuck he said during the whole movie because he kept spitting up black oil the whole time.
I don't think that. No, I think your memory's fucked up, dude.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
That happened maybe like a few seconds of one moment. No.
I'll find it. I'm right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it didn't happen at all.
Just like you were right about the Mandalorian episodes
Right.
that you
Find the
watched.
one-
I've watched. I'm on like 6 or 7.
You know what? Maybe it is your
4.
fault. Maybe you did.
Hit the wrong button.
I take back all of the support I've given.
It didn't take long to get there.
And I was gonna say, Jeff, I just absolutely love what you do when
When we give him the choice.
when we discard our characters for one reason or another, and how you incorporate them back into the narrative. It's great.
Well, good. I'm glad somebody enjoys it.
It's about all I enjoy. I won't give you too much praise there.
I wonder where Jeff got that from.
I'm getting sidetracked. Kira and Mulvayas are brought to Gauntlgrim and brought before King Bruner, and he wants to know everything about what happened. And eventually, he tells them that there's going to be a feast. There's going to be representatives from all the factions coming, and he needs to try and gather support for an expedition going back into the Underdark to try and stop the Demon Lords. He asks for these two's help to gather that support and get things going, and to lead the expedition.
Sorry to interrupt you. Are the listeners not going to get any sessions before this? Are we just giving them this and then starting off after?
I haven't decided.
Or are they like? We at least have the audio already.
Yeah, we may use the session 0,
Okay.
but
I said
that's
no.
kind of why I'm
We do have
glossing.
some gameplay. I just didn't know if you wanted to use
That's kind of why I'm glossing over all
it.
this.
That's fair. Sorry. Continue.
There's the big feast. There's all kinds of characters there from Forgotten Realms. They get the chance to meet the companions of the Hall and King Bruner. They've already met, but Wolfgar and Regis and all those are there, and they're all mentioned, but I don't think the guys actually participated much. There was an attack down in the Great Forge, just to interject a little bit of combat into the session. There was a small cult of Demogorgon, I believe it was, down there, pitching dwarves into the forge and trying to rile up the Primordial. Gauntlgrim's forge is extremely famous because of the magical weapons and things that are forged by the Primordial being in the forge. Unfortunately, it's also big enough to nuke cities, which happened a few times, and they were trying to start that again. The attack turned out to be a good motivator for the people who were there. Got to see what was going on, and the factions all ended up pitching in. All except for the Lord's Alliance, who Kira kind of pissed off.
And?
Yeah.
Bummer.
Fuck 'em.
But it all the factions
Hoity-toity
also
pricks.
Yeah, they were kind of.
They were a lot.
Yeah. The factions also ended up giving Kira and Mulvayas the other two party members that they were going to need. The Zentarum brought us Shadow of the New Moon. Did I get that right?
Correct.
Why don't you tell us about him?
Shadow is a tabaxi. Samurai is what if you want to actually break it down, what I went by. Has spent the past few years working with the Zentarum after his clan was essentially wiped out, and sort of stepped up to be a bit of an honor guard to Mulvayas and Kira and help them get into the Underdark, because he has some ties and some knowledge of the Underdark itself.
He was actually a caravan guide to Mantle Dareth,
Correct.
which is the next destination on their quest. We'll get to that in a minute. But the Emerald Enclave also gave the party Ertlan.
Yeah, Ertlan is a turtle who, in his young age, in seeking of knowledge, traveled. What's the name of the actual city we're talking about now?
Which one? Gauntlgrim?
Yeah. He had traveled to Gauntlgrim as his first step because he's fascinated with all things fungi. And the Emerald Enclave actually linked me up with a druid down in Blendenstone. my mentor, who's a gnome. So I've actually spent some time traveling, roughly the same time frame that the previous members were down in the Underdark, and my travels got me as far as Neverlight Grove and conversations with the Myconids. Yeah. So that's kind of what's added me to the group, just for help and guidance in the Underdark.
Once the party and their expedition was assembled, Brunner asked them to head to the Zentarim's settlement called Mantle Dareth. It's the Walmart of the Underdark. It's a giant trading enclave where
Complete with crackheads.
It's more like farmer's market.
kinda the Drow, the Durgar, the Svirfneblin, and the Zentarim
God bless you.
all have enclaves there where they form a giant market. And it's supposed to be the peaceable place for everybody to come and trade. The different races don't always get along, but they keep the peace there. The Zentarim actually helps do that quite a bit. Man.
It was here we came across quite a few different obstacles. We ended up saving quite a few people from various different things. And the rest of the party learned that, oh yeah, we've got a beholder.
Well, you did find out about the beholder, but
He's a good dude.
he is a good dude. He's kind of an asshole, but he's a good dude. You were actually sent down to Mantle Dareth to find a gentleman named Gazram Dulak who had a map.
Yep.
King Brunner figures that the answers that you guys are looking for as to why the demon lords are there and maybe how to stop them are going to be found in the Library of Gravenhollow, which is a giant magical library run by stone giants. It has knowledge of the past, present, and future of everything that goes on in the Underdark. Gazram Dulak has the map to this place. But when the party gets down to Mantle Dareth, they find an all-out war going on between the Svirfneblin and the Durgar. So has anybody else ever heard of a pronunciation of Durgar?
No. That's the way I've always heard
I've heard Duragar.
I keep hearing now Dwergar, and I'm not sure what's right.
I'd have to read it. I've never actually seen it written.
It's Duergar.
I think you're fine either way.
I know.
If there's no accent above the U, you're probably good.
I don't know. It's just struck me weird lately because I've heard a lot of people saying Dwergar.
Unless
Pricks.
somebody from like Wizards corrects you, I think you're good.
I don't care.
And even if they do, fuck them. Like,
Yeah. It sounded weird to me when I heard it.
Potato,
Spell it
The
with
people
an E.
who say it potato are fucking wrong.
crepes. It's
again,
crepes, by the way.
there's actually a pronunciation for that word.
It is crepes.
The people who say it crepes are French.
Well, they just know how to pronounce it.
Now you got to get a lot more in the Kleps. There's got to be a loogie all the way deep down in there.
Now I want breakfast.
You know, I've never had crepes.
They're good.
They're just really thin pancakes.
Yeah.
The best part is dessert crepes. Those are. I've seen them made where they'll make it hot and they'll put a scoop of ice cream in the middle, and while it's still hot, you fold it around it, and it's like
Yep.
Ooh, that does sound
with
good.
some apple or some
Dash
chocolate.
of dark chocolate drizzle on them.
Yeah.
But you take the clep and you fold it literally as it's hot, and it cools because it wraps the ice cream. It makes like its own bowl.
Those sound like good crepes.
They are
All right,
most
hit pause.
excellent.
We're gonna go find food.
crepes. Très magnifique.
So all-out war with the Durgar and Svirfneblin. The party has no idea why this is happening. They just come up out of the ravine in the middle of the place and see them being attacked.
We
And
went down a massive elevator to get there, right?
you came up a massive
Or a
elevator.
crane.
Yeah.
I thought we were coming from the surface.
Just kind of like an escalator.
We traveled across the surface, fought the...
You traveled across the surface down to a tunnel
Okay.
that led into a ravine down in the middle of the city and came up the ravine.
Gotcha.
And
everything we had to fight.
no, you chose to fight. The first thing they did when they came up out of the elevator was say, "Hey, fuck those Durgar."
No, we chose to save the gnomes that were running from them.
Yes. We chose to save lives.
by taking others.
Yes.
That's the American way.
We got in the middle. They attacked first.
I'd have to go back and look, but I believe all of our alignments are pretty similar. Like, we're going to get shit done no matter how we have to do it.
Right, but every step along the way, you heard the Durgar saying, hey, they stole our shit, and you killed all the Durgar.
Well, they wouldn't fucking
Yeah.
back down, would they?
And
Well, I mean, I know that this is a recap, and there's a lot of interaction with Durgar that you're gonna have to go back in the catalog to listen to. But there are certain people who have prejudices against Durgar.
Yeah, that's true. The Durgar are kind of assholes.
Yeah, maybe just a little.
But anyway, it kind of turned into this whole giant mystery of who done it and why they done it and everything like that. The Durgar said that the leader of the Gnome Enclave stole a gem, and it started this fight. And they chased down and murdered a bunch of gnomes and chased the others into their enclave.
Turns out they were pretty accurate on that, though, right?
Yeah, a gnome did steal the gem, handed it off to somebody else, and they took off with it. Once they killed as many of the Durgar as they were able, they drugged the prisoners that they took back to the
Hey, I think victors get to write the history.
No.
And you're giving
We were able to kill many more. We chose to stop.
We stopped where we stopped.
That's
to
true.
be fair, we did kill a lot.
But I'm saying we were able to kill
We
all
also,
of them.
Yeah, you could have killed a lot more.
We reined it in at the end.
Yeah, we also didn't kill any of the innocents that didn't come out and attack us first.
Yeah, there were merchants in the Durgar Enclave that didn't attack, and they're like, "Hey, this is some fucked up stuff going on."
And there was a Durgar that let us in.
Yeah,
Was it
Did
Ted?
we fuck with somebody with some sort
Or
of illusion
Ted or
something?
Steve?
We killed Ted.
The Durgar
We
that
killed
were at
Ted.
the
Steve
gate.
let us in.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve and his other friend at the gates. We fucked with them. until
I'm
they let
really
us in.
disappointed that you
I don't
guys
remember what
don't
we
get to
did.
listen to these episodes.
I don't remember what we did, but we
there
did
was
something.
really some good stuff there.
Yeah, it was good
Yeah.
content. It was fun.
There's some good comedy spots that you guys are unfortunately missing out on.
Sorry.
Please add the
No problem.
in there.
So after they killed a bunch of the Durgar, maybe not as many as they could have, but as a bunch,
It was 10 per fight. I remember.
they dragged the leader of the Durgar Enclave back to the Zentarum Enclave to try and figure this shit out. Oh, and the gnome leader as well, because she was a prisoner there.
The Gnome Mage and the Durgar Chieftain.
Yeah. Drug them off to the Zentarum Enclave, where they found the Drow and the Zentarum sitting down to talk about how to deal with this. And out of nowhere, as they're walking up,
Ping.
one of the Drow guards randomly attacks Lorthun, who is the beholder,
The good beholder.
that helps out the Zentarum.
Now, luckily, I carry a sword that doesn't allow my allies to be surprised, and it saved his life.
That is true, because this guard was an assassin and did insane amounts of damage on a surprise round and on a sneak attack.
Because,
So, yeah,
because the surprise round was suppressed, it helped.
Yes, it did.
So we killed that guy's ass and then moved on.
No, you didn't kill him.
Oh, we tortured him.
Well, you beat the shit out of him and then took him for questioning.
What's the difference?
Turns out everybody who has touched this gem that was stolen has gone insane. In one way or another, they believe some kind of lie.
Yeah, and there's also like a lineage of people who have touched it, leading all the way up to, was it a gargoyle of some kind?
Yeah, Yantha Coxrox was the gnome leader who originally received the gem from another Durgar.
For appraisal.
Yeah, the Durgar was trying to get the gem appraised. She went nuts when she touched it, gave it to her assistant, and said, "Get it out of here." He took off with it, thought he needed to go get spell components for her with this gem, tried to take it and sell it, got attacked by a gargoyle along the way who stole the gem. The gargoyle started to believe that he was in love with this drow and took the gem and gave it to the drow. And the drow touched it and thought that she could get back into her house that had exiled her from Menzoberranzan by killing this beholder. And nobody had any reason to believe any of this stuff.
It's a pretty far-fetched little story.
Oh, yeah, it was ridiculous. And Kira was marching around the city talking about how she loved these mystery novels by who?
Oh, fuck if I remember. I was drunk. Fantasy Agatha Christie.
Yeah, I mean, she was...
No, I think it was
she was
just Agatha Christie
Clouseauing through the
No, it was
through
fucking
Mantle
something.
Dareth.
It's 1,000%. I was absolutely Inspector Clouseauing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clouseauing or Poiroting or whatever.
Poirot is successful. Clouseau
That is true.
so.
It is totally
is
Clouseauing.
accidentally successful.
But then things took a turn.
Things did take a turn because when they beat the shit out of the drow that attacked the beholder, one of our party members grabbed a hold of that gem.
Good job, asshole. Would you like to talk about what happened to your character in that interim?
No.
He just doesn't remember.
I do.
It's been months.
Don't like being
You
just
don't
like
have to
an
give the
asshole.
details because there are conversations you guys had we didn't get. But then again, the listeners would have gotten that. So up to you.
Yes, so I touched the gem and essentially was led to believe that I could bring back Eleanor, find a way to bring her back. I was convinced. Well, I don't remember.
He said he told you that he could help you at the library.
Yeah, well, that's what I was trying to think. What did I meet? I have it written down. What the fucking dude?
You met Fraz Erblu.
Right. That's right. I met him right when I touched it initially.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, no, I think it was later on when you slept or something.
That's right.
like that.
That's right. Okay. Yeah.
You disappeared with the gem for a while because you wanted to think about what was going on.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you touched it, you knew that this was the
Yeah,
thing
that's right.
that you needed
Yeah.
to bring her back.
I got that sense when touching the rock. Yeah, exactly. But then later on, yeah, when I slept or sat with it or whatever, I communed with a demon lord, which was fun.
Yeah, the demon lord. This particular demon lord has some lore behind it, where it's been captured by mages before, so it set up a contingency for any time it was summoned. Whether it was a good thing or a bad thing, it would be pulled into this gem and saved up like a phylactery for a lich. This gem is housing this demon lord. It's trapped in there. It can't get out.
I always thought of it more as a djinn than a demon lord.
No, it's totally a demon lord. A named demon lord that
Yeah.
pretty much everybody knows.
He's the demon.
None of
Isn't
us
he
at the table, maybe other than you, got that name.
No, because you and I had conversation before anybody else came.
Yeah.
Because I talked you down from going on your own.
Yeah.
I tried to hold person you and failed it twice in a row.
Truth.
I tried to take it
Remember
away
that.
from you, but it didn't quite work out.
So
that
you and
way.
I both went that route, and I just sat there and watched you try.
Yeah.
'Cause
He
I
was
can't-
the
I
demon
can't
lord
hold
of
person.
lies, right?
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah. But yeah, Ertlon convinced Troy's character Mulvayas to stay with us, and then instantly, as soon as out of his earshot, tattletailed to Kira because I had no experience with Mulvayas.
Kira was very intent on getting answers from the assassin rather than helping Mulvayas, which was a little interesting.
Yeah, it's called Cody doesn't need to make all the decisions.
It was it was more of like a both that, but also like feigned disinterest.
There's nothing more fun than watching a fellow party member be possessed by a demon lord. Enjoy yourself.
Influenced.
And
Right.
I think
Because of the thousands of people that make
That's
the deal
exactly
with the devil.
what it tells you.
I think the proper term is maddened.
You know, 9 times out of 10, this doesn't work. But this time, we might have a chance.
Yeah. So then after that, we finally met Duloc.
You did. You met Gazrim Dulak. Hang on.
Shot.
Nothing that entertaining. Just a dry throat. Dulak gave you his ring, which is kind of like a wayfinder for the library. Earlier in the fighting, you also found a deep gnome hiding in one of the stalls.
That's right.
A guy named Peebles. He was shady as hell.
Yep.
You guys suspected him from the very beginning,
Yep.
And eventually you questioned him until you made him tell you that he worked for a beholder who hunts down other beholders.
Hey, he's a little shit.
He is a little shit. And you frog marched him out of the city once you were ready to leave and was like, I want to go fight a beholder. Show us where.
And we did, and we beat it.
You did. You barely beat it. I took 2 of you guys out in the fight.
If I recall correctly, my character snuck in just to scout it out. Didn't see the beholder because I believe he was hovering in the ceiling area.
Yeah.
And then went, and required help after that.
Yeah.
But we did some good dodging. We did some good hiding. We got away with it, and took
A great Lester restoration. A Lester restoration.
Yeah,
That was
but
good.
this beholder was interesting because he had a bunch of eye stalks that were like sewn on.
Yeah, he was kind of nuts in his own right. He believed that
He took war trophies.
Yeah, he took the war trophies off of the other beholders that he killed and sewed their eye stalks onto himself.
Yep.
What 2 did you take out?
I knocked you out.
No. You dropped me down the hole. I came back up.
True.
For some reason, I thought I took.
I think
2
only
people
one
out.
person.
I
got
think I
knocked
went.
down.
I think I went down after a while, but I mean, I did intentionally walk in to eat as much shit as I could
True.
Yeah.
to soak the damage.
Yeah.
I
Surprisingly,
realized I was doing 2 things wrong in that fight. I kept forgetting the layer actions or the legendary.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I forgot his central eye through the whole thing.
No.
What's the central I do?
Anti-magic field.
No.
In a cone.
That would have made a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, we. It was interesting. Were the eyes? I can't remember. Was the eye attack? Were they random?
Yeah.
Yeah, three randoms.
He got 3 random rolls for different eye stalks that each did different things.
Sorry. Fighting the beholders are interesting. That may have been the first one we fought.
It's the first one we fought at any of our games. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and
I'm
Jeff
sure there
made
would
a
be more.
badass mini for it.
Yeah. No, he painted the mini up.
You bought it or printed it?
I bought a printed mini,
Gotcha.
but my 3D printer showed up yesterday. I'm gonna start printing all kinds of shit now.
His
Okay.
family, his friends, his child.
Any other comments about the beholder fight?
No, it was a lot of fun. I really wish you guys could hear it. It was so
I feel
much
like
fun.
we should mention the fact that before we set off, we were given an amulet with a shield guardian.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh,
we do
yeah.
have that guy.
One of the factions,
You
it was the
run
Harpers.
him, right?
It was the Harpers.
Yeah.
Gave you,
Gave it to Kira, and Kira gave it to me.
instead of sending troops with you for the expedition, gave you a fucking shield guardian.
Which is epic. Like, that thing has probably saved our lives a couple times.
Yeah, I don't know how much longer any of them will last, but we should also mention the fact that we've got like a troop of 20 people.
Yeah, but they're not really fighting with us. We just have them with us.
Yeah.
I can't even remember.
And riding lizards.
I don't
Yeah,
even
and
remember why
riding
we
lizard.
fucking brought them with us at this point.
Set up outposts. Do
Scout.
whatever you want with them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Um,
Because like they're various. It's like 3 or 4 members apiece from each faction, right? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some from the Order of the Gauntlet. There's
Right.
some from the Heart. No, there's not. Some
Emerald
from the
Enclave.
Harpers.
Yeah. No harpies.
Emerald Enclave Scouts. Veterans from the Order of the Gauntlet.
Zentarian warriors.
Yeah, Zentarum Thugs. And who is the
I think
other?
we call them warriors.
I think that
No,
was
the stat block calls them Thugs.
Fuck the stat block.
Who was the other faction?
I don't think they came with us, did they?
No, there's another one besides the Lord's Alliance.
I thought they did send us like 3 people.
Lord's Alliance did send
Oh yeah,
some
the
people.
Lord's Alliance did send some dwarfs from
Yeah.
Mirabar, I think it was.
Yeah.
It's an interesting little ragtag group we've got going. That's for sure. But beyond the beholder, we made our way to the library.
Hang on, it's bugging me now.
Okay.
The Emerald Enclave, the Order of the Gauntlet, the Harpers,
Do you have the little cards?
Lord's Alliance,
They're under here.
and the Zentarum. I guess that's it.
Yep.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, you got a Shield Guardian, you got Veterans, you got Scouts, you got Lord's Alliance Guards, Zentarum Thugs, and Giant Riding Lizards. Now you just have to figure out what to do with them. Because now they're just kind of following you around.
I mean, at some point, we'll use them as meat shields, I'm sure.
It says in here that they're not much good as meat shields.
Bummer.
It's almost like the game wants you to do the work.
They'll do what we say.
I mean, it is D&D. Like, it's really hard unless you do something dumb or get unlucky to die.
I forget. Did you guys kill Peebles?
I don't think we did. Did we bring him with us?
Yes.
We brought him with us. He's like,
he led you there.
yeah, he's with us to the library, I believe.
Okay.
I don't think. I think we dragged him. Well, we dragged him
Well, his
to get
boss
to the
is
beholder.
dead now.
Yeah, unless somebody dropped him down the hole, I think we got him.
See, that sounds like a very us
on.
thing.
Did you find something down the bottom of the hole
Yes.
Yeah.
that was kind of important, or at least neat?
Yeah, I thought so. I can't remember what it was.
Was that a weapon or a gem or something weird? I remember vaguely something that you found that was intriguing.
Can you give me my character sheet back?
That is at the bottom of the beholder's shaft, buried among the shattered remains of petrified foes, is a flame-tongue longsword.
That's what it was. Which I don't think you're wielding, right? Because you use a staff.
Correct.
So unless you gave that to somebody,
I don't think we ever got to a point where I gave it to
that's probably fair.
So once they left the beholder's lair, they went to Gravenhollow, the magical library that is larger on the inside than on the outside, deals with time travel, and goes wherever it's needed.
So you're Doctor Who. I never really watched a lot of it. You went with Doctor Who. I went with Harry Potter because when they walk in the tent, it's massive.
Yeah, but it doesn't travel through time.
I suppose that's fair.
Because once they got in this library and started walking around and started learning how it worked, they found out that they could go to one of three sections: the past, the present, or the future, and they could find out information about different things in the Underdark. Pretty much anything they asked for, I would give them some kind of information depending on the rolls they made. But as they're walking through here, they see flickers of people walking around looking at different things in the library. They met a guy that said he was Elminster. They in all honesty, we stopped we ended the recording before they finished the library, but we're going to go through the information in the library now.
Do you want to explain to the people who Elminster is?
Elminster is reputedly the greatest wizard in Forgotten Realms.
It's kind of important info if you're not aware.
Yeah.
Lucas wants you to provide him more detail. He doesn't read books.
I mean, it has been a while, but
I will also mention when we got into the to the library, we were greeted by a basilisk that spoke to us.
That is
So,
true.
Your Harry Potter reference isn't too far off.
yeah, but he purposefully did not keep eye contact, or maybe he had blinded himself with a blindfold of some kind. I can't remember.
No, he
Either
avoided
way,
eye contact.
Either way, he avoided eye contact for us. Yeah.
Yeah, Veldeskar was the name of the basilisk.
It's interesting that we're coming across a lot of really powerful opponents that are just like super nice for now.
I mean, you guys met a friendly mind flayer in the first half.
Was he friendly?
He didn't eat Troy's brain.
I was to say, did he eat your brain?
Yeah.
On a scale of did it eat your brain to not, he's pretty friendly.
Wait, was that the same one who we bashed the face
No.
out of? Or was that a different one?
No, L&L stumbled upon a... well, actually, the mind flayer stumbled upon you guys while you were resting
That's
because of a teleportation accident.
That's right. Yeah.
Also, the one that got bashed in the head, isn't it kind of like a schizophrenic? We don't know if it actually happened in Morak's mind.
Possibly.
Yes.
Because it was stuck in the stone in the ground or something, and he just kind of like bashed
And
it.
when I can't remember who it was that walked up and looked at it with him afterwards.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember.
I think it might have been you.
Matt's character is the one who killed it.
Yes.
It might have been my character that helped that saw him. But I don't remember
And-
if I actually saw it.
You saw the remains, and you rolled some kind of like a medicine because you were questioning whether this was actually a gnome or a mind flayer,
Right.
because you saw a gnome, and then Matt told you it was a mind flayer.
Right.
And you botched that roll, and I'm like, no, you totally believe that was a gnome that he killed.
Yep.
So...
Can't believe how long ago that was.
But yeah, they as they're wandering through the library, they see echoes of different people. When they met Elminster, I don't know that they actually figured it out or not, but this echo of Elminster is actually from the future. Huh?
Did we get that?
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because he knew about the demon incursion.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was there searching for a long forgotten spell. I don't remember what all he told you or anything like that, but Troy's digging for his notes.
It's a good idea.
See, this is the stuff that that they don't really know all of yet. So they're going to be learning this along with you guys.
Oh, well, we at least got this part of it.
You did, yeah. You guys did get some of it, but we didn't get to finish Graven Hollow.
Assuming any learning on the people of this podcast's part is a grave mistake, Jeff.
Yeah.
Also true.
I remember the Basilisk. I remember Elminster. Everything else is a pretty solid blank.
So
I remember specifically asking in what was going on now where all the demon lords were, and we found out another demon lord that's just kind of like watching what's going on. I can't remember which one that was.
We'll get to that. I want to give Troy a second to
Okay.
look at his notes.
he's got nothing. He's shaking his head.
It's okay.
I got the names, but I don't think this happened. Yeah, this happened there. We got names of all the demon lords essentially that have appeared.
Oh yeah,
But we didn't get all
Because-
the locations, right?
you figured out that when you
Basically.
you
Well,
entered the library,
Not exact.
that big old crystal that the stone giants and Gracklestug gave you,
Yeah.
it awakened more powers to that item. It's a stone speaker's crystal, and it's actually from here. It allowed Mulvayas to go to any of the sections of the library and ask specific questions and get visions based on those questions.
If I'm not mistaken, you also continued to struggle whether or not to release the demon lord in the crystal the gem that you had, and clearly you didn't.
Yeah, you guys weren't sure
Do
if destroying the gem would release it
Yes.
onto the
That's what we were
material
afraid
plane
of.
or send it back to where it was
That's what
from.
we were afraid of. So we kind
or
of just
what?
left it. So I believe we still have it. We just
You
never
do?
made that decision.
I have.
Did we also put it in a lead box? That we would
You put it in a box.
We discussed
you couldn't get a
putting
lead
it.
box, but
Yeah. Okay. We discussed a box. I just couldn't recall.
I also have Mizzrym DeVere. Was that somebody we met? Right.
you guys went to the future section and were looking for solutions to the Demon Lord problem, and you were given the name Vizarin DeVere. Mulvayas knows the name DeVere.
Troy does too. He's got notes.
Does he? Okay.
Yeah, it's a former dry house that was wiped out when Dritz was born.
Yep. The night that Dritz de Orden was born, his house was destroying House DeVere.
Right.
So there shouldn't be any more DeVere running around, but for some reason there is.
We got one. Yeah. Yeah. Beyond the Demon Lord names.
I think that the Demon Lord names went along with Schroeder's question of where are they now,
Right.
and you were given visions of Demogorgon swimming through the Dark Lake. You saw
Yenagu
Yenagu
in the labyrinth.
In the labyrinth,
But also Baphomet's in the labyrinth.
Baphomet is also in the labyrinth.
There's Orcus.
Orcus, you saw
I have Elderbrain.
in a illithid
Hive mind.
yeah.
This is probably why I was drinking.
yeah.
Excuse me.
Every name that came up, you took a shot. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you saw Orcus come into into the chamber for an elder
that's
brain that was dying. Orcus reanimated the dead elder brain, and the elder brain told all of the illithids to join it in undeath. And Cody flipped the fuck out.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
As he's rubbing his face and
I've not had enough to drink.
You want that decanter?
Kira says.
Then I've got Zuktamoy.
Yeah, Zuktamoy was
He's traveling to Eremicus.
Ziptamoy's a punk
It's
bitch.
It's
I'm not
also
worried
just a
about
fun
Ziptamoy.
word to say.
Zuktamoy.
Zuktamoy.
But then I've got Jublex, but I don't have any more information.
Jublex was
You know what I-
following someone. I can't remember which one.
following Zuktamoy.
There you go.
Okay.
Zuktamoy is the name of my punk band.
And then Gratz.
Gratz looked like he was sitting on a set of bleachers watching a show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is the one I was
And
talking about that
Gracklestug.
I'd never heard of before. No, it wasn't in Gracklestug.
It was
Yes.
out. It was outside Gracklestone.
Okay.
Like, just for the audience's sake, yeah, there are a couple of those that are pretty fucking heavy hitters. Like the fact that they all are theoretically in play in this game, I knew some of them would be. Like, Orcus is not someone you want to fuck with. Like, Orcus is like epic level. At least he used to be. I don't know what that is in this game anymore because I was like, we'll never have to face anything like this. Elder Brain may be worse. Like,
There's not. If you, I mean, I know all of you guys have the books and have access to them. If you look at any of the stat blocks for the Demon Lords, there's not a single one of them under CR 21.
oh yeah. No, they're beefy. In terms of the Rancor's Brothel, they would be the most difficult things that would have ever been fought on this podcast, bar none, at all. Like,
I don't know. There's this bell in this one game that seems to one-shot things.
Which one is that?
That is
That's
Demogorgon.
Demogorgon.
and like legitimately, if I were power ranking them, he's a lot lower than 2 or 3 of the ones Jeff just went
I
through.
bought that when we first started
No,
this campaign.
he
so-
is actually the Prince of the Demon Lords.
He's a higher CR than Orcus.
Yep,
I call bullshit.
higher or at least equal. I can't remember.
Cause like I don't know. Orcus is up there. Like Orcus is. And the thing about Elder Brain is Elder Brain scares me because you have to remember that Illithids attack you in ways that you don't typically expect. So
You don't have to give us the details.
I'm not, but I'm curious now.
because I would be surprised if anything's higher than Orcus personally. But that's just because Orcus is one of
Equal.
those. Equal is I would accept.
Okay.
Go on with chlorophyll.
What?
Billy Madison reference.
I got it.
You smiled, and that was enough.
Okay, so I want to give you guys the chance to ask questions. I'll
How
answer.
do you kill them?
Huh?
Pretty sure that was the question we asked before too.
How do you kill them?
Yeah.
You don't.
How do we win the game?
So I don't have this written down, but it's now coming. It's coming to me that. So correct me if I'm wrong. There are 9 demon lords. Yes,
I don't remember how many are here.
because we have 8 accounted for.
Okay.
There's 1 missing.
Frazer Blue.
No, that's number 8.
Sing the song, then you'll know which ones there are.
With on for after at by.
There's one been left alone in the abyss.
Oh, yes.
That's the preposition song. I'm sorry.
There is one that was left alone in the abyss.
Good old Miss Loth.
And you got a vision of her surrounded by eggs
Yes.
with a giant smile on her face until she realized that she was being watched.
Yeah.
Neat.
So but that's what he was saying. You can't kill the demon lords, but we can
Banish them
vanquish them.
back to their plane.
Yeah.
If you kill them on this plane, they go home.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
In theory. Because you don't know what brought them here.
Well, Loth.
They shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Would Loth maybe ideally be in Mizzrym?
No.
No?
She's in the abyss.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I asked exactly where all of
She
them were.
was still in the demon web pits.
Okay.
Yeah. So my thought was, and I remember having this back then, was how do we convince these guys that they need to go back because Loth has got some plan. She seems. I mean, from what we gathered there, to me, it seems like she's the mastermind behind this now because she must be the one who got rid of them somehow, got them to leave the abyss so that she can take over, have all these eggs.
So you think she over Demogorgon is taking power?
I mean, he's here somehow.
I mean, does the data go that direction? I guess.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, that's at least the line of thinking for our
Yeah.
next set of questions while we were in the library.
Yeah.
Well, and now is where you guys get to ask questions. I'm not gonna force all the stupid rolls and
That's
everything
fair.
like that. I just want you guys to get the information that you want.
So I mean, the next question would be, how were these?
Yeah, how they got
How
here.
did they get here? So, I mean, Fraz, we know.
Yeah, actually, you know half of it. You are shown a vision of a drow. You know that you recognize the drow. This is Grumph Bayenray.
Yeah.
What's your last name? What's your surname?
Mizzrym.
Oh, he's not Bonray.
Yeah,
He's
what?
not that big of a
I
prick.
just couldn't remember who it was.
House Bayenray is the first house of Mizzrym.
Yes.
I thought I had that written down from previous. But
She's top bitch.
Yeah, Grumph is the head of Sorcerer, which is the Wizards Academy in Mizzrym. He is the high wizard of the city.
Cool.
You see him. I mean, you get like a montage of vision of him trying to prepare this ritual, and he's getting. It's like he's getting the building blocks of this ritual from different places, and some of them you can't tell where they come from. And when he finally puts it together, it blows up in his fucking face. You see him in his office, in his tower office, with the wall blown out, looking out over Manzo-Baranzan, and you see Demogorgon rampage through that city, and you see a horror-stricken look on Grom's face, and he vanishes, and he's gone.
Dude fucked up.
So he wanted to bring Loth, fucked it up, and brought everyone but her.
Maybe. Grumph is an archmage. I mean, like, Grumph is maybe not quite on the level of Elminster, but Grumph is up there. We're talking about people playing characters in your game, and it just struck me. You know who I want to play Grumph just on a whim?
Oh, casting?
Yeah. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Elon Musk. Because he's a smarmy prick.
Yeah.
Just lights a joint in the middle of the talk.
He's not that cool and
I
collected.
don't think he's that much of an asshole.
Grumph?
No, Elon Musk.
Oh. I mean,
He's like a much eviler. I don't know that evil is the right word. I'm not sure how to describe Grumph, because I've read a lot of the novels, and a lot of the more recent novels have him as a much more prominent character.
yeah, you can tell that Salvatore really wants to revisit that character. But that character is really fleshed out by people other than him before he got back to it.
I mean, the later novels are very influenced by Out of the Abyss.
Oh, yeah. No, there's some novels that are directly connected to it. Grumph is kind of a huge prick, though.
So we get the idea that whatever Grumph was trying to do did not happen.
Did not go the way he thought it was going to go.
So, yeah, we can either interpret that as... So, he at least brought forth Demogorgon, but then do we get the sense that...
At the same time that Demogorgon was pulled in, so was everyone else.
Okay.
The thing, though...
And not just the demon lords. Every demon that was close to them was brought with them. I mean, on your way out of the Underdark, you guys found all kinds of demons.
Right.
The thing that I would say, though, is that I would be surprised if it was an attempt to summon Loth, just because of the matriarchal hierarchy of...
Like, because of his gender, he wouldn't want Loth necessarily to be there.
Right. If it is that, it's more complex than that, because since it is a matriarchal society, like...
If he summoned Loth, every priestess there in the city would know about it 5 minutes after she left.
I mean, it would
be coming for his head.
I mean, yeah, yeah. There's no benefit to him because of such such strong matriarchy of the Drow. They are the men almost actively resist the priestesshood, I guess is what you would say. The sort of matriarchal religion, because they are at best second-class citizens a lot of times.
Yeah.
So he's sort of attained a power structure and gone as high as a male can go outside of the matriarchy, and to like summon Loth would be a huge win for that power structure. So unless there was some greater reason for him to do so, it wouldn't make a lot of sense. We obviously don't have all the pieces, but
yeah,
he could have been trying to summon... if you go back to War of the Spider Queen, not that any of you folks have read that or not, but like some of the men actually summon, is it Varun?
Yeah,
they actually summon Varun in that to try and kill Loth, to try and bring the patriarchy into power over the matriarchy for the drow. It's a whole thing. Super badass book set. Definitely recommend to read.
Veruin is Loth's son.
Got you.
Yep. Male drow deity. There is actually a little bit of flavor text for the vision that you get about Gromph's folly. An imperious drow archwizard in spider silk robes casts a mighty conjuration spell. As the ritual draws towards its conclusion, web Faerzrest spreads. Faerzrest energy expands outwards. The wizard seems alarmed by this, his effort to complete the spell growing more crazed as he realizes he's lost control, and then madness. Rifts open in the web of energy around him. These cracks stretch and widen, and through them come horrific fiends that scream, shriek, and howl as they are all wrenched from the abyss and cast into the Underdark. A woman's deep, dark laugh echoes in your mind as the drow wizard shrinks away from the demonic hordes as he is unwittingly unleashed.
So there are a couple of other things there that we learned, though, from Jeff's text, in my opinion. Conjuration, so we are summoning things out of thin air. Faerzrest struck it.
Yep.
So this Faerzrest thing is not necessarily correlated to the Demon Lord's presence. It was here before they showed up.
No, the Faerzrest has always been a part of the Underdark.
Right, but what I'm saying is if it's known background radiation, you would think the scientists would know to, like, not involve that. That makes me wonder if there's more to the Faerzrest. You know what I mean?
The Faerzrest is supposedly why the drow are able to cast darkness and levitate and shit like that.
Sure. But what I'm saying is I would assume that this is an unusual
known
circumstance.
quantity.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
He knows to divide by 9.86 meters per second squared because that's, you know what I mean? Like, you would think he would account for that. So him not accounting for that makes me wonder if it's something greater.
He had to do what?
And then it also has Loth's laugh.
Well, to me,
Divide by terminal velocity.
Yeah.
Oh.
To me, it sounded
I knew
like whatever he did just broke the Faerzrest, I guess, if you will. Like,
I think the Faerzrest changed it. The Faerzrest
A
altered.
little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
But, I mean, I'm also not a wizard, Harry, so that was my last character. He might have known more. He would have told you he knew more. But yeah, Loth's laughter is also interesting to me. But
yeah.
I wonder if he was doing something and she influenced a little bit, maybe, to fuck with him?
Well, that's what now I'm thinking, like...
Because Loth
He was doing something that she might not want to happen. She influenced it to where it blew up in his face and did exactly what she wanted to happen.
Or she somehow influenced him to do exactly what he was doing because she knew the outcome.
Loth is
Yeah.
way more like that. Loth is the deceiver in the dark. She's the manipulator, and she also has no problem sacrificing her own people for her ends. So she would have no problem if houses rose and fell in Menzoberranzan if it pushed her towards whatever her ultimate goal is.
Sometimes that's just chaos.
Well, right. No, she does have a crazy bitch kind of thing going on. She's a real fun character.
So, but you said he disappeared after this happened.
Yes, as
I'm sure he fucked off.
As he watched Demogorgon rampage through Menzoberranzan, he teleports out.
Okay, so he
The picture on
Purposefully.
Lucas's folder is actually Demogorgon rampaging through Menzoberranzan.
I kind of wondered because you know
there is a very faint, tiny image of a drow at the bottom.
yeah, I just
Flip it over. I think there's more drow on the back.
yeah, I can say it didn't look like a lake that he was coming out of. So,
It's just sort of landscape.
but
Well, it's a wraparound too, though.
So put that on the list of people to track down.
Gromph?
Yeah.
Ugh.
I mean, he seems to be now that's at the center of all this. So.
We could also ask in present, where's Gromf now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since we are asking, we're essentially back to where we were asking questions in the library.
We got present and future. Where's he now? Where will he be?
Yeah. We also should ask where Vizron's going to be. Didn't we see that he was...
He's there.
He is supposed to be there
Oh, that's
in
right.
Graven Hollow.
That's right.
Yeah. We were told that he's at
Great
the library.
Is he? Is the next question we ask. You're the one giving us the answers today.
Yes, he is actually supposed to be here.
Okay. That didn't... Supposed to isn't the answer.
Where is he in the library?
Yes or no?
You would probably be able to find an answer to that.
Okay. Because there are stewards.
Yes.
Yes.
You could actually talk to one of the stewards.
Yeah.
What was your question about Gromf?
Little.
Where is he?
Sager.
Yeah.
You absolutely do not get an answer to that.
He doesn't get an answer, or he gets ignored.
No. You get an error message.
404, bro.
No,
the information you're looking for is not available because the information here pertains to the Underdark.
I mean, the thing that he would do, and a high-level wizard would fuck off to his own demiplane. Like, in fact, not to spill too many beans, but I'll continue to suggest that you all should read War of the Spider Queen because it's still the best like D&D book set I've ever read, in my opinion.
I would agree to that.
Like, it's really fucking good, and it's good because Salvatore, no offense, Bob, didn't write it, but he supervised the outline, and like 6 other writers wrote it, which I think is awesome.
Yes.
I think Ed Greenwood actually signed my copy.
Really?
Yeah, I saw him at Gen Con one year.
That's cool.
Anyway, Gromp in that has a demi-plane where he practices magic and does other shit. So, like, seeing Demogorgon going, oh god, I fucked up, and pissing off to your own demi-plane to wait for this all to blow over, I could see him doing that, which means he wouldn't be in the Underdark.
So, I guess my future question would be...
Yeah.
When does he show back up?
You'll see possibilities.
Okay.
It's not one thing is for sure going to happen.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you see him popping back into Menza Baranzan. You see him in Gauntlegrim. You see him...
It's a multiverse
there.
of decisions made.
Yes.
Okay.
Whether you sit down in that chair or walk over there could influence it.
Speak to Dormammu.
I come to bargain. Okay.
What else you got?
Who might have information about him and where he might have gone?
About Gromf?
Yeah.
You would get the same answer.
Okay.
What are future like possibilities of Devere's plans? Because we got like getting an understanding. Like I want to see if there is potential malice in whatever conversation we're going to have with Devere. Because like the idea was that he's going to give us.
I mean, you can see possibilities of what happens after his plan goes off. You see the demon lords sent away. You see them return to the abyss. You see Menza Baranzan in flames. You see.
It's almost like an insight check on the character is like what I'm trying to look for.
Well, I think we already got some that he his plan is to reinstate his house for himself or at least
take down Duerden.
Yes.
Duerden's already taken down.
Yeah.
House Duerden's already gone.
But I mean,
he himself would not be able to reinstate House Devere. He's a male.
No, but I thought there was something about essentially the fact about because you're not supposed to actively destroy another house. So
right.
he
revenge
yeah, essentially. So he has knowledge to say, hey, like these guys acted against my house actively to destroy us, sort of thing, right?
But that was Duerden, and they're already gone.
Right. He doesn't have anybody to turn it against.
Okay.
So yeah, maybe past or present understanding his reasoning for what his plan is. Like, why would he help us?
He's not really helping you.
Who are we talking about?
Devere.
Vizeron Devere. We supposedly, from what we've got, we need to go talk to him to understand how to send them back.
I thought you meant someone that was actually here with us.
You see possibilities in the future where you help him.
Mm-hmm.
You see possibilities where he goes through with this plan without you.
Mm.
You Doctor Strange this shit.
It's kind of what I was trying to do.
Mm-hmm. So it's not necessarily that he is setting out to help you.
Got you. He's got something already going on, and we should go talk to him about it.
There you go. What were you going to say, Troy?
With the knowledge that Cody shared about Gromf having his own demiplane, would that be somewhat common knowledge?
It's not unheard of.
Because I don't want to like meta the question, but
it's not unheard of for wizards to have demiplane.
My question would be, how do we summon somebody from their demiplane?
You can't.
You don't.
Okay.
Magically, you can't. I mean, it would be like saying, oh, Will Smith has a hot tub. I don't know that Will Smith has a hot tub, but you can kind of correlate lots of rich people have big houses, and lots of big houses have hot tubs, ergo, he probably has a hot tub. Is Will Smith in his hot tub right now as I'm talking? I have no idea.
And even if he was, I don't know where it is, how to get there, or how to pull him out of it.
Correct.
I would disagree with that. There are ways to find that information out.
Not
about hot
they're-
tubs, not demi-planes.
But they made the analogy. So all I'm saying is that is information you could find out. So it's conceivably that would be information you could find out. I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
And yes, magically, there are ways that you could find that out.
Yeah.
But it's like super high tier magic to be able to do that.
Yeah, we don't have the, like, Kellen might be able to piss him off enough to have him pop out, like with spells and shit, but even a lot of your contact spells, you have to know the person, you have to know where they're at, or it's
Right.
more likely that they will fail. So it would be incredibly difficult. Because the thing about your own demi-plane...
You're talking like a wish or a miracle spell.
But that's what I'm trying to get at. Is I'm trying to find somebody. I'm trying to find somebody connected to him. So
Some way to connect what to him.
find somebody to connect to him. Like find somebody that is connected to him in some way.
You're not going to find that information here.
Right.
Like, legitimately, if you want to bring him out, you would either need to entice him or piss him off. And neither of those things are we going to be able to do in the library. You want to go to Menzoberranzan and, like, fuck with his shit? We could do that.
Kinda.
It's an option.
It's not a great option, but it is an option.
How far away from Menzoberranzan are we?
Very bad option.
When's the next bus come by?
So this is only going to be 3 episodes, right?
Sorry, covered caravan with a metal roof.
Menzoberranzan would be a bold choice. I mean, Kira will lead the charge. It'll be a short-lived one, but I'll lead it.
We got a party of
Those drow matrons are going to fuck us up.
Any other questions?
I lied,
Anything
it
else
was
you
Richard
would...
Baker. He wrote me a note, though, so that's why I brought you the book out.
Ah,
Richard Baker, not Ed Greenwood. I was still thinking of Elminster.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I need to tell you guys.
Is there anything we can do to save Aramicus?
You see possibilities, yes.
Do you have any magical items that will help us on our quest?
It all boils down to stop Zuktamoy.
Right.
How much time do we have
For
between to when Zuktamoy reaches Aramicus?
you don't see it anytime soon.
Can I get like a? Is that a week? A month?
We got between a week.
I have 12 hours.
A thematically appropriate amount of time.
Beep, beep, beep.
It's one of those quests that don't actually start until you get to the right area.
Right.
Then you're
So if you want a power level, we spend 72 episodes.
In my visions of DeVere's plan, is it like there's this one thing that we got to do, or is there like this something we have to do for everybody?
He performs a ritual that yanks the demon lords back into the abyss.
Okay.
It almost looks like he reverse engineers Gromph's thing.
Okay. It was more like are we going to have to, is this like a one-time, boom, we fixed it? Or is it like, we're going to have to go deal individually with each one of the demon
Come
lords?
on, Cody. You know the answer to that.
I don't know.
Have you ever played an RPG before?
Not D&D enough to know.
Have you played Skyrim?
Not really.
There's never a one-stop solution.
I understand there are multiple quests, but
I don't know,
usually the
people
story
speed run it in 7 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
Can they facilitate a meeting between us and DeVere?
Absolutely. I would be happy to escort you down there.
down where specifically?
He last time I saw him, he was in the archive of the present.
Is that part of the library?
Yes.
Yeah,
What has he
past, present, and future?
What has he been researching there?
The demon incursion.
Okay. Has he searched at all in the present or past or future?
A little bit of each, but right now he's dealing with present.
What in the past has he researched?
I'm not privy to that. I wasn't present.
We probably need to speak to him.
At some point, Jeff would like us to play with the NPC and not the computer of all-knowing knowledge.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to pull out whatever strings I can.
Yeah, I'm giving you guys the chance to ask whatever you want. You may not get the answers you want, but
I mean, we can just go there and talk to him.
I go to the Archive of the Future,
okay.
and I ask, do I ever...
Find love.
No. Hold on.
Grow pubic hair.
Does he find his 3 other turtle brothers?
Do I ever release Felwyn?
It's all possibilities.
Okay.
Should have seen that coming.
Yeah.
I mean,
I feel like the Hall of the Future is just a bunch of bullshit.
it is vague as shit.
Yeah, it's possible. Well, thanks. Cool.
I go to the front desk and ask if they have the compendium of Calvin and Hobbes.
The Forgotten Realms version, yes.
Excellent.
I go to
And Dilbert.
I go to the Archives of the
Dilbert.
Past.
Dilbert is universal. Although
Yeah,
his
okay.
creator's a real prick.
The Archive of the Future. Prophetic visions. The information in the Archives of the Future is uncertain, not only because Yustova focuses on prophecies, but also because her visions detail potential futures, not definite outcomes.
I go to the Archive of the Past.
Yeah.
I want to know what stipulations Felwyn set for himself to pass on.
I have no idea. This is your story, dude.
I know. I'm trying to figure it out.
Well, then why don't you write it?
I did. I have an idea.
Well, then what answer do you fucking get?
Whatever happened to
Proof
Matt
that-
Ettercap?
Proof that he doesn't have anything else to teach me.
You see a barbarian tribe with a head mounted on a wall.
Exactly the answer I wanted.
But it still talks.
Like that goddamn Billy Bass. Take me to the river.
It just looks around the room and says, "It parks the car by the harbor."
God, oh God.
I love you, Matt. I love you so much.
That's what it is. Love. Yep. That feeling deep down in the cockles.
Are you going to meet Vizarin, or do you have more questions?
I guess the question is, how far are you going?
Huh?
I didn't know how far you were going in terms of your review. We've gone from review now to actually playing. So
Yes, because we've gotten to the point where we ended.
Right. No. That's what I was asking. How far are you going? Oh, I didn't know if you had a dramatic moment.
I'm planning to give you the information in Graven Hollow, and then we actually start playing when you set out from Graven Hollow.
Well, just give us the information. Fuck you waiting for? Why are we asking all these fucking questions? Because give us the
turn on
fucking
PowerPoint.
information. Jesus Christ, we wasted all this time.
Make that the second smartest thing Lucas has said on this podcast.
Jump ahead, fuck.
Meetings
I mean,
that
I've given-
could have been an email.
Boom.
I've given you the information that I need to give you.
Huh?
I'm giving you the chance to ask questions that you want to know. If you're to the point where you're out of questions, I'm ready to move on.
You're like that HR person who's like, well, you don't have to attend the meeting.
I can't think of anything.
Okay. You guys will be led down to the archive of the present. You see an aged and withered drow, along with it kind of looks like a battle toad, big, hulking, gray-skinned, reptilian type toad creature. You're looking at me with a raised eyebrow. If you want to know, make a roll.
Well, I'm just trying to think. I was trying to draw from my own.
No, just give us the
lack of
information.
knowledge.
That's true. I don't really care right now. It's a death slod.
A death slod?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Could you educate me on what a death slod is?
Unmistakably a bodyguard.
Well, right. I think we've fought a death slod before.
No.
No. we
Yeah, I think we have.
In what?
Did we in
did. Part 1?
no. Strahd.
Yeah, I think you did.
It was in the Amber Temple.
Correct.
Oh. Oh, yeah, we did.
They're nasty little fuckers.
Yeah, they are. He looks up from his research and almost looks surprised. Like he recognizes you.
All of us or just...
No, all of you.
Oh, from his questions at the archive.
Greetings. I As much as it pains me to say so, I think we have things to discuss.
By the look on your face, it seems like you recognize us at the very least.
I've seen some outcomes where you're involved. So are you here to help?
To find help.
I'm putting together a ritual. I could use help. If that's you, that's great. If not, I'll go deal with it myself.
And this ritual is to vanquish the demon lords. Correct?
Send them back.
Send them back, right.
Then we're in.
Sweet.
He doesn't speak for all of us. Let's hear your plan.
If you need a sacrifice...
The cat is an idiot. Please continue.
He's got 9 lives. He'll be back.
I don't need a sacrifice, actually. I do need reagents. I need to take the things that I found here back to my lab and run the numbers. If you want to meet me there, I can give you details.
Where is your lab?
He will... Where is it?
When did magic become science?
45 days travel across 75 horrific terrains.
It's in the center of the labyrinth, behind 2 demon lords.
Yeah, Vizarin invites the adventurers and their NPC followers to Araj, his tower and stronghold, where they can discuss the matter further.
This isn't the first wizard with a tower we've run into in this campaign. I lied. That's totally
He refuses
from Grist.
to discuss
Jesus
plans
Christ.
in detail in Gravenhollow, saying the walls here literally have ears, and echoes linger forever.
It's not frightening at all.
Huh?
So that's not frightening at all.
I mean, you've literally seen echoes walking around.
We spoke to one in the future.
Past days.
Sure. Future.
Where exactly is Araj?
He will give you directions. I'm looking, but I don't see how exactly he gives you directions.
Turn
but you'll
left
be
at the
able to
Burger
find
King. It's about 6 blocks down.
It's the duplex. He's in the one on
If
the
you
left.
go over the bridge, you've gone too far.
How do I get there? You take the one fucking road to me.
I am the Burger King.
Get the pickles.
She wants it her way.
What are you looking for?
Picture of a desk slot because they look dope as fuck.
Oh, the last favor the library provides to the adventurers is to have the tunnel out directly connect with routes leading to the character's desired destination. Whether
we
that
need to decide where we want to go.
whether that destination is Araj, Blingdenstone, Menzoberranzan, Gracklestug, Manteldareth, the edge of the Dark Lake, or somewhere else.
That's kind of why I want to know where Araj is. Because I want to know where it is in conjunction to other places.
Oh, cool.
Let me look, because I have a map.
The red one definitely looks more like a tree frog.
If you'd like to know, that slot have their own page with separate stats. They're cool though. They're fucking cool looking.
Araj is north of Blingdenstone and a few days away from Menzoberranzan.
Okay.
Kind of look like the mini Godzillas from the Godzilla one in New York.
I mean, you guys could literally find an Underdark map in here. Here is Araj. Here is Menzoberranzan. Here is Blingdenstone.
Okay.
There is Manteldareth. All the way out here is where Gravenhollow is.
So I guess we go to Araj. If we don't like his plan,
I mean, you guys can fuck
We
off
could
wherever
kill
you
him.
want.
the barbarian would like to remind you that killing is always an option.
You're only part barbarian.
You're right,
and
it
you're
is.
really barbarian.
You're a quarter barbarian.
But I mean, our goal, essentially, is to send these fuckers back.
Which we could do by killing them.
Right.
Probably a little
That
bit
seems a lot harder than this guy's plan, maybe.
Can we? I mean, we haven't left yet. We could always
need to train.
go ask the future. Is it possible to send them back without this plan?
I need a hero.
Like he's saying, I think it is. It's possible, sure. Yeah, we can go individually and
Fight them.
fight them and send them back. Do we want to do that, or do we want to do this one catch-all?
I definitely don't want to do it at level 8.
Yeah, no.
We're at 9.
He was super cool
Did
to
we
me.
level up?
Yeah. We're at
He
9.
was super honored that I brought that in for him to sign too. I was like, dude, I loved this book as a kid.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I have 9 written down.
Okay,
I believe we did level up once so far in this campaign.
More than once, I think.
Did we? I'm at 9, so.
Pretty sure we're at like level 15 by now.
Nah.
Did you tell us to
Are you guys all at 9?
I
We should
don't,
be. We should all be at 9.
I don't remember leveling.
I don't remember. Either way, leaving Graven Hollow. Actually, yes, you guys should have leveled up.
Yeah, we should have leveled up a couple times.
Maybe I did.
Did we start at 7?
No, you started at 8.
We started at 8.
Yeah, I got 98 as my hit dice, so I
Yeah.
assume that I
So maybe you
leveled.
just didn't update the top portion.
Yeah.
Yeah, because leaving Graven Hollow, you
No, I
guys
have
should be
9.
9th.
Yeah, I have 9.
So you guys need to figure out where you're going.
Well, Araj, duh.
You are going to go to Araj.
That clearly is the
The next plot point.
right. Yes.
Sweet. That's what I'll prep for next time.
I mean, we could always kill him.
We
But
kill
there's-
anybody.
Like, right. But you know how much fun Wizards' towers usually are?
Well, I mean, we could also not kill him and still raid his shit.
Yeah. Kellen would have been way more interested in that than Kira is. But fighting wizards in towers is always dope.
Sure. Just depends on how hostile he is when we get there.
And the task is ultimately going to be go to Menzoberranzan, like it's gonna happen.
It's probably the last place we should go, but yeah, let's gather the clues before we take on the queen.
Because he's gonna want a reagent from Gromf.
Probably.
It's a fair bet.
If I were writing it, that's what I would do.
Sure.
And one thing barbarians are good at, it's sneaking. Ka-kunk, ka-kunk, ka-kunk,
Are you wearing
ka-kunk.
armor? Oh yeah, because you're not an actual barbarian.
I am a barbarian. I stopped wearing all the armor, actually. I think I've got a buckler, maybe? I'd have to look at my character sheet again.
Not if you're using a glaive.
I couldn't remember. I was thinking about, I still can think of 3rd ed rules. I was trying to get the cheap +1. It was the bucklers from 3rd ed that did that, wasn't it?
Yep. All right, we will see you guys next time.
Our title track, Elders, is provided by Sleep for the Weary off their debut album, Nocturnes. Learn more about the band at sleepfortheweary.com. Want to continue the conversation? Find us on Facebook at Fans of the Rancors Brothel or on Twitter at Rancors_Brothel. Need more actual play episodes? Find over 1,000 individual episodes at our website, rancorsbrothel.com. Thank you for listening. Much love, and keep circulating the tapes.